Today is August 26th, 2020, and we just got news today that we are not going home. We can't go home for at least a year. This is not what we expected at all, but then again, nothing about this was expected. Raina, my oldest daughter, was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia April 19, 2020, this year. They said the treatment was going to be about a 2.5-year process. When Raina was diagnosed, her and I were immediately placed close to Seattle Children's Hospital for her treatment. Just in case there were complications. For some reason, I thought we would be in Seattle for just a couple of months. My other 3 daughters and my husband are back at home in Mount Vernon, which is about an hour and 10 minutes north of Seattle. It has been very difficult without my other daughters. I miss them tremendously. We thought we would only be out here for a few months. See, Raina's chemotherapy is in phases, and for some reason I was under the impression that after her second phase, which would be only a few months, we would be heading home for her to finish out the rest of her 2 years of chemo. Well, I was wrong. I have to admit, though, the night Raina was diagnosed, I'm pretty sure that I was in shock. Some things are a blur, and some things are a bit traumatic to think about. Her doctors probably told us the timeline, and I just don't remember. I was counting down the days that we had to be away from home. We were only going to be away for 84 days. When day 85 came and we were told that we were going to be here for a full year, it was a moment that I can't even put into words. Raina said the way that I was counting down the days, she just knew in her gut that we were not going anywhere. It just seemed like we wanted to go, but us wanting to go home wasn't the reality of things, and Raina knew that. I had to pick up the phone and call my girls and husband and tell them that we won't be home until maybe next summer. I sat in silence today. I couldn't really speak much. I really didn't know what to say. I got phone calls from everyone asking if we were home yet. I didn't answer any of those calls. I just didn't have the energy or the will to tell everyone that we'll be home next summer. I shut off my phone, kicked my feet up, and watched some TV with my daughter. As we were watching TV, I was thinking to myself, I'm kind of glad we're not having to go home to such chaos. But my baby girls are still in that chaos. And when I say chaos, I mean the yelling that happens almost daily. The constant process of defending myself and thoughts, explaining why they're not wrong, explaining that it's okay for me to think differently than him. It's okay to not agree on every little thing. It's okay if I have my own opinion. Having my own opinion doesn't mean I'm against him or disrespecting him. He always thought I was disrespecting him if our opinions didn't match. The continuous put-downs from him. For some reason, he had the notion that I didn't know anything. Anytime him and I would get into a disagreement, when I say disagreement, I mean an argument for almost the whole neighborhood to hear. He would try to explain to our daughters why we were fighting. He would start every explanation with, "See, what your mother doesn't understand is," and then he would go on and on to our daughters about what I don't understand and why. It's so hard sitting in another room, listening to him belittle me to our daughters. There would be times when I wouldn't just sit in another room and listen. Sometimes I would hear him begin his sentence and go back. And I would ask, while he was talking to our daughters, I would ask questions, and I would defend myself and ask him, why is he treating me this way? Or why is he speaking to our daughters about me the way that he is. And it would be his opportunity to tell the girls how mommy has no self-control, how mommy has an anger problem, and how mommy is showing a clear example of how a woman and or a wife should not act. He would then say, see, your mommy has a problem. She has an anger problem. She doesn't know how to control her emotions. He would speak as if I wasn't there, like I was a test subject, being observed. Sometimes I would walk into the room that he would be talking to our daughters in, and I would dismiss the girls to their room, and then he and I would have it out. The arguments always ended up with me in tears, feeling like I was losing my mind and questioning if maybe I do have an anger problem. I didn't like how that felt. So over time, I would just sit in the next room with frustration and tears running down my face, listening to him tell our daughters what I don't understand and why. I call my daughters every night to talk to them and check on their state of mind. They're not doing well. They're trying to hold it together, but I can hear the brokenness in my baby's voices when I speak to them on the phone. The yelling doesn't stop just because I'm not there. I just spoke with my husband tonight, and it turned into a yelling match over the phone. I can only imagine what he told our daughters about their mommy. I feel helpless. I feel split, divided. I need to be in two places at once, and I can't be. I look over at Raina, and she's starting to doze off. It's so quiet here, and it's so peaceful. The only thing missing are my babies. You know what's not missing? My husband. I'm not missing my husband.